Okay, hi everyone. Michelle and Andrew, if you could turn your videos on just now, that'd be great. And we should have Michelle as well. Is Michelle there?
Yep.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the very first Apple Teacher Monday. I think we may have exceeded the limit just now for members, which is great. So thank you very much for all joining in today. First of all, for anybody who has not been able to go on, all of the sessions will be recorded and posted on our YouTube channel and Remote Learning as well. There is a Google form that popped into the Apple Teacher webinar channel, and you should be able to fill this out, and it should be any problems with it, just let me know. We did test the trial on Friday, so hopefully they're working okay, but if not, then just know. So today, as we said, is our very first Apple Teacher Monday, and we're very excited to be joined by Michelle Phillipson, who is Deputy Head Teacher and an Apple Regional Training Facilitator at St Marnock's Primary in the South Side. So we're delighted to have her here today. So I'm going to pass to Andrew, first of all, who's going to say a little bit about some exciting things that are happening this week before we begin the webinar.
Yeah, thank you so much, Laura, and thanks so much everybody for tuning in today. This is actually really exciting for us because it is the first of a series of Apple Teacher Mondays, which are basically focused around the Apple Teacher guides. So if you kind of tune in on a regular basis to these, or you watch back on the videos, if there's any you can't get, you should get all that you need to actually for yourself kind of like work your way through the Apple Teacher program and then achieve the accreditation at the end of it. So there's a really kind of good win for everybody for participating. So thank you so much for that. It's also really exciting because this is part of the webinar series that Glasgow City Council are putting on regularly at the moment, and that on a Monday will be Apple Teacher. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday we've got our coffee break learning webinars, which Laura can talk more about, or we can put some detail in the chat around as this session goes on. And yeah, we're really excited about them. There's been a lot of interest. Somebody's turned on their mic. The last thing I wanted to mention, which is also really great, is today is also the first day of our creativity focus in Glasgow. So if you're on Twitter, you'll hopefully have seen this already, but we're doing a focus on creativity around for the next 30 days. It's actually more than 30 days because it's Monday to Friday, but and each day has a little separate creative challenge, and really the idea is to give students, young people, parents a creativity challenge that they can participate in and share back the results with. And looking at the results today and some of what people have been creating, it actually looks like it's really taken off and it's going really well. So it's something that you're more than welcome to share with your young people that you work with. Obviously in your schools, you should already know about it. I'll put more details with it again in the channel of the chat room that goes alongside today's session. Also, me and Laura are going to be kind of monitoring that chat room as the session goes on and as Michelle goes through it. So if you have any questions at all and you pop them in the channel, we'll try and answer them just as best we can as the session goes on. I know it's scheduled to be an hour in the diary. I don't think it's going to take us an hour to get through the material, but we'll just take it nice and take it at a nice pace so everybody can kind of enjoy it. I want to say a massive thank you to Michelle for doing this. It's always kind of slightly more challenging doing the first version of anything. So yeah, massive thanks to Michelle, and thank you to all of you guys for turning up. And I am now going to turn off my video. Over to you, Laura.
Yep, okay, so just kept a wee eye on the chat there just now. Hopefully you can all hear me just now. Just to make it the best experience possible, if you turn off your video and your microphone as well, it just means that if you get any kind of background noise, it doesn't affect the presenter. From the coffee break learning webinar last week, We know there is a kind of slight lag, just with different and so many people on at the one time, which is great, obviously. But just so that you're aware of that, all the sessions are recorded at any team, and Andrew and I will try and let Michelle know that she can answer them as well. So I'm going to turn off my video just now and my microphone, and I'm going to pass you over to Michelle. Okay, enjoy.
Hello, good afternoon everybody. Thank you so much for joining me today for, as Laura and Andrew said, our very first Apple Teacher Monday. My name is they've stolen my tag. My name is Michelle Fullerton. I am a Regional Training Centre Facilitator for Apple in Glasgow. I'm a Digital Leader of Learning, and I am the Deputy Head Teacher of St Marnock's Primary School in Pollock. Today I'm delighted to be hosting the very first session. We'll be doing a wee kind of getting started session, looking at an overview of the Apple Teacher Programme and what it involves. And then, as Laura and Andrew says, if you have any questions, feel free to put them into the chat as we go through, kind of thing. If everyone can make sure that their video and their mic is switched off to mute there, that would be great. Thank you. I'll just pause while I share my screen. Easy. Oh, so someone's still got their mic on and you've just sneezed. God bless you. Could you please? Thank you. And then I will share my screen. There we are. Okay, so Laura, are you okay to just let me know if you can see my screen? Yeah?
Yep, we can see your screen perfect, Michelle. That's great.
Super, thank you. Okay. All right. So Apple Teacher is a free professional learning programme which is designed to support and to celebrate teachers who use Apple products for teaching and learning. As a teacher, you can build skills on the iPad or the MacBook that directly apply to activities that you use with your pupils daily. You can earn recognition for the new things that you learn, and you'll be rewarded for the great work that you do by collecting badges and eventually earning Apple Teacher status. And as an Apple Teacher, you can go on even further by learning and teaching coding with Swift Playgrounds. This programme is open to all teachers, and it's a great way for schools, and I suppose for us as an authority, to access free, high-quality professional learning that we can work through together, enhancing Glasgow City Council's digital updates and, of course, our classroom practice. As with everything, we are all at different stages in our knowledge and understanding of using iPads within the classroom. So whether you're new to Apple products or if you've been using them for years, whether you've got one single device or if you've got one for every pupil in your classroom, Apple Teacher absolutely has the tools that you need to use your iPad or your Mac to connect effectively with all of your learners. As you can see, there are 6 badges to collect for the iPad and the Mac, and we'll go over these in a wee bit more detail shortly. So when you sign up for the Apple Teacher, you'll start a self-paced journey through the Apple Teacher Learning Centre, and you'll be able to access starter guides for the iPad or for the Mac. One of the great things about this is that you can access the programme whenever it suits you. You know, we're all so busy, and I think working from home, everyone's busier than ever. So it's really great that you can access this programme whenever it suits you, and you can work through it at your own leisure. There are absolutely no time restrictions there. To sign up for the Apple Teacher Learning Centre, you can use the address which is on the screen. So it's just simply apple.com/UK/education/teachers, or you can just Google Apple Teachers and click on the link.
Michelle, can I just check that, are you still on your first slide? Because it's still on the first slide on the screen share just now, so I just wanted to check it wasn't lagging.
No, there must be a lag, yeah.
Right, it's changed over now, so you're on slide 4, which is Apple Teacher with the circle round join Apple Teacher.
Yeah, that's right. Thanks, Laura.
No worries.
Thank you. Okay. So when you click on the link that we spoke about, you should find yourself at this page. All right. And you can notice here that there is an option to join the Apple Teacher or to sign in if you already have an Apple ID. Okay, so you can sign up for the Apple Teacher program using a personal Apple ID. Unfortunately, you're not able to use a managed ID, which has been assigned by your school currently. So if you already have a personal Apple ID that you use, for Apple iTunes, for example, then you can go ahead and use that to log on. Okay. If you don't have a personal Apple ID or you don't want to use that one, then you can go ahead and make a new Apple ID. And this will enable you to create one. So if you just click on don't have an Apple ID, this will take you to this page. It's really simple and straightforward. You complete the section with your personal information, and then you will go on to answer the security questions. The answers will be held securely, and that's just to help you to recover your account if you ever get locked out, kind of thing. As a member of the Apple Teacher program, you'll be able to receive emails, updates with stories from other teachers, tips and helpful ideas for your classroom. The updates will be sent to the email address that's connected to your Apple ID, and you can see at the bottom of the screen here that you're able to choose which updates you receive, and you can change this at any point just by accessing your profile there. Okay, so once you've signed in, you will find yourself here at the Apple Teacher Learning Centre. If you're on an iPad, then you will see slightly different. So you'll have to click on the top left-hand corner there and then select Profile. Okay, and then just underneath the first banner, you will see Earn Badges for Mac. And just beside...
Michelle, sorry to interrupt you. It's just lagging a wee bit more just now. Would you be able to tap on that slide again, the one you're talking about just now?
Yep. The Apple Teacher Learning Centre?
Yes, please. Thank you.
Okay, can you see it now?
No, I've still got a wee lag just now. What I've been saying to everyone on the team is obviously Michelle will share this presentation as well, and we can pop it into the file section of the Apple Teacher Monday team. I don't know whether you can maybe try and close it and then open it again to see if it would be a little bit less lag. It's moved on now, so we're now at the Create Your Apple ID slide.
Okay. You should have Apple Teacher Learning Centre now.
No, it's still stuck at Apple Teacher ID. It'll just take a wee moment to move on. So we've got Apple Teacher Learning Centre we're at just now. So it's got a slide with news and profile, and it's got your arrow slide on it as well.
There we are. There we go.
Yeah.
Okay. So you will see here that you can earn badges for the Mac or earn badges for the iPads. Okay. You will choose whichever one you think best suits your circumstances. All right. We recommend that you earn badges on the device that you will be using with the children, for obvious reasons. However, you can see here that I earn badges on my Mac because my iPad was, as old as the hills, so it didn't support the Apple Teacher, and my school hadn't had the Apple deployment yet. So there are slight differences you will notice, and the accessibility alters depending on the device that you're using, if you're using a Mac or if you're using the iPad. So menus may appear differently, and there may be some difference in functionality. So therefore, as I say, I'd recommend that you try and earn your badges on the device that you'll be using with the children. I now have my deployed iPad, so I'm sure you can guess what I'll be doing over the next couple of weeks. Okay, has that moved on okay, Laura?
Yep, so we're still on this slide just now with the Apple Learning Centre. A few people were asking, is it possible to make it full screen, Michelle?
I'm seeing full screen just now.
Right, so it's still stuck on, you've got the slides down to the left-hand side, and you've got, it doesn't look full screen just now, that's the only thing.
I'll try it, I'll press and play again. The joys of technology.
No, do you know what it is? It's not going full screen at all just now. I don't know why that is.
You see, I've got full screen in mine. I'm not sure. I don't know even if I can zoom.
You can zoom in a wee bit, yeah.
It's maybe a bit much.
Okay. If you tap the form, see on the top right there, Michelle, there's a format button. If you the format with a big paintbrush, if you tap that, that will give you a wee bit more space, and then you could go up a wee bit further.
Right.
There
Okay.
you go.
Yeah.
That's a wee bit better. That's a lot better, yeah.
Right, I'm not sure why it's not showing full screen though, but I'll carry on. You can let me know if you can't see it. So we're on.
Michelle, sorry, see before you go on, it didn't seem to be quite so laggy when you didn't try to play it full screen. See if you go through it just when it's not full screen, but at that size, I think it might make a bit of a difference.
Right.
Yeah, that's better. It's not that stops the lag. If you just, it must just be the way the internet's playing today. But if you just click through the slides on the left hand side as you go through them, we can see that in better time. Yeah, that's much better.
Okay, right, perfect.
Perfect. Sorry, we'll get there. Thank you.
That's all right. So this is just having a wee look at what the badges actually are, okay? So there is a general iPad or Mac overview, which gives you the functions of the Mac or the iPads. It looks at productivity and, and that sort of thing. I really recommend taking the time to explore your device. When I first got my Mac, I didn't really look at, quite a lot of the functions. I just didn't bother. I probably didn't have the time. But now that I understand what they do, I wish I'd looked at it years ago and explored them. Pages is a word processing tool, so it's quite similar to Microsoft Word. Pages has really intuitive tools, which makes it easy to customize fonts and add images, movies, audio clips and shapes and that sort of thing. You can also use templates to to create reports, newsletters, posters and all that sort of stuff. You can even make interactive books, which somebody sent me one recently, which was really, really good. So again, it's really good for our current situation where we're all using the online learning environment. So these books just give something a wee bit different. Keynotes is what I'm using today. So again, it's similar to PowerPoint. It includes tools that help you to bring stories to life using photos. You can illustrate maths concepts with shapes, or you can use the magic move, animate function so that you can animate scientific processes and that sort of thing. It's really, really good. The next one, numbers, is similar to Excel. Again, with numbers, you can create really lovely spreadsheets that include tables and images and charts and that sort of thing. And with numbers, you can also add audio explanations and video clips that can really enhance your charts and your data. Again, if you're using any kind of online learning environment, it's really nice to add a wee kind of annotation there for your children in your class. It's lovely. Moving on to the Imovie, then that lets you create engaging and informative movies that tell stories. You can share them to social media sites. You can add them to presentations or to newsletters. All kinds of things. The list is endless. Imovie is great for using the green screen as well, and doing a wee bit of augmented reality. You can create movies that include titles, music and effects, and you can do all of that with the pictures and the videos that you have on your iPad. So it's a really fantastic tool. The last one is Garageband. This is a fun mobile recording studio that helps you to create original music, sound effects and audio stories to engage learners. So again, you could use that to make songs that reinforce vocabulary. You could record poetry verses. You could compose soundtracks for your documentary that you've made in the iMovie. So again, another fab tool. Okay, are you still with me with the screen? Yeah.
Yep, so it's the Apple Books slide we're at just now. That's perfect, isn't it?
Yep, so this is a wee video, so I hope it works. There we go. Okay, so Apple have also created a wide range of fantastic books to help to support you on your Apple Teacher journey, which you can download for free to the iBooks app. You'll notice, kind of just as I'm scrolling through there, that there are starter guides and individual books for each of the apps, both for the iPad and for the Mac. So you can see they're kind of colour-coded there. The iPad books are green, the Mac books are white. Additionally, you will see that there are some coding guides and guides for enhancing creativity and productivity within the class. So again, I'd really recommend accessing those books. I would like to particularly draw your attention to have a wee animation now, you see. I'd like to particularly draw your attention to the Everyone Can Create series of books, which are fantastic, and they link really well with the courses and see on your badges there, and they will also be really useful for you within your own practice. Coincidentally, today is also the first day of our 30 Days of Creativity, which you might have seen on Twitter, and I know Andrew spoke about it at the start. So again, I'd encourage you to have a wee look and have a go. Tweet us if you decide to do any of the tasks. We'd love that. In addition to the programme and the iBooks, you can also learn so much about each individual app on the Apple Teacher Learning Centre. So I'd really recommend that you access this too. I'm not sure if my video will work again. Let me try. Yeah, there you go. So here you can see me scrolling along the top there, looking for the section which is called Learning Resources for Teachers. In this section, you will find lots of great wee ideas and useful tips. Again, it's split into two sections, one for the iPad, one for the Mac. So you can learn how to edit screenshots, how to use markup for annotations. I'm just scrolling through these slides. How you can animate your Keynote presentations, how you can use, present your data there, nice and engaging and relevant ways for the children, how to use the green screen in the movie, and how to create projects using Garageband. So that's a fantastic site. Again, there are more creativity examples and ideas that you can use within your classroom. And down at the very bottom, there's a section where you can share your own good practice, and you can also read up on the good practice of other Apple teachers all across the world. So I really recommend having a look at that one too. Okay, there we go. Okay, so let's have a wee look at numbers as an example of what the badge actually entails. What does the programme actually look like? So again, if you go into the Apple Teacher Learning Centre, you can click on the badges for iPads. So let's do the video again. You click on badges for iPads. You can click on numbers, because that's the one we're going to look at today. And you can see that there are various aspects of numbers that you can explore. Okay. You see it's got an animation, Andrew. I don't know if that will work. Can you see my screen now?
Yes.
Right, I'll take it back off once I do this. It's just because they're layered.
Oh, it's gone. It's gone, Michelle. Yeah, unfortunately, sorry. That's better. I can see it now.
But you can't see this. I'll need to just...
No, it's obviously when you go full screen, for some reason it's confusing the internet.
Right, okay, sorry guys, then you'll just have to bear with me. I feel as if I'm on a crat here, like a first tutor visit or something. So if you click on...
Doing great.
So if you click on basic, so that's on this one here, then it literally gives you the opportunity to have a go, and it's step by step. Okay, it guides you through the process of adding different formats and formulae, how to create charts. It provides you with an overview of the functionality of the app, and it explains everything that you can do with the app. So that's really good. The next section is this one. So this gives you examples of different ways that you could use the app within your classroom, again, to help with organisation and productivity. And then the last section is this one. And once you've gone through the programme, you can take the quiz and you can earn your badges. Okay.
Michelle, we've lost sound just now from yourself. Could you check your microphone's on?
Okay, is that better?
Yeah, that's it. We can hear you.
Better. Perfect.
The strange thing, I didn't touch my mic, so I'm not sure what's happened. Right, I'm not doing this again. Right, so each quiz has got 5 questions, and to pass the quiz, you need to get 4 out of 5 answers correct. You can take the quiz as many times as you need to in order to pass it. Again, there are no time constraints, so you can go back and reread a section in the book, or you can open up the app to explore it further before having another go at the quiz. All of the badges follow a similar structure. Obviously some are a bit noisier than others, for example Garageband. But I won't go through them all. It's, as I say, they're very, very similar, so I won't waste your time going through all of the different apps. Okay. So let's see, this is another video, so keep me right if you can't hear me or you can't see it. Okay, so you'll be able to keep track of your badges using the Apple Teacher Learning Centre profile as is being demonstrated. If you click on the left-hand side badges, it will display all of the badges that you've earned so far. So you can see that my badges are for Mac and not for iPads. Okay, on this page, you can also access frequently asked questions. So there's lots of really clear advice there and, basic, easy to understand information. When we're so busy, as teachers always are, we really need it to be clear and to the point. And there is also a help section there. So you can get some technical help, so maybe I need to access that today. And you can also access some help for the quizzes or for the badges too. So once you've collected your badge, we really love it if you shared it with us. So we want you to celebrate it. We want to make this a really big deal in Glasgow. Lots of schools have got different ways of recognising Apple teachers and the collection of the badges. And again, we'd really love to see your ideas. So tweet us and remember to include the DL for all and the Edith Glasgow hashtag, also the RTC handle, which I didn't add on, but we can add it on at the end. And then once you've done all of the 6 badges, you will become an Apple teacher. Hooray! Now you have a lovely banner like that. You will also be able to download your certificate of recognition there. And again, I've seen some lovely foyers in different schools where, all of the Apple teacher certificates have been displayed. So you might want to download that and do something like that in your own school. You can also download a recognition report if that's what you want to do. Okay. So, I think you can see from the overview, I think despite the technical hitches, that Apple Teacher is such a fantastic programme. And I think that we're really lucky to be part of such a forward-thinking authority. And we're really lucky to have, or soon to have, iPads in every single classroom in Glasgow. So I think that's fantastic. But the Apple Teacher programme is much more than the badges and the Apple Teacher status. And this website, just kind of scroll through it a wee bit for you, shows ways in which you can enhance learning and teaching, using augmented reality, for example, or there are different teaching ideas for curriculum subjects. There are accessibility courses to help you to explore ways in which we can help our young people to feel empowered by showing them, how they can be independent despite any barriers that they might have. There are scientific demonstrations. I mean, it's just, the list is endless. So it's a fantastic website. I really recommend that you go on to explore that. I think my next slide is going to give me problems again. So I'll pop that to the side just now. In addition to this, to the fantastic website and the iBooks and all the rest of it, Apple also hosts a wide range of CLPL sessions for teachers that they call Teacher Tuesdays. These are held in store and they can be booked online. So this is the back slide that you can see there. You can see that their calendar is sadly empty just now because of the ongoing situation. But luckily for you, you're part of Glasgow City Council, and we will continue to host a wide range of their coffee break webinars. We'll do our Apple Teacher Monday sessions, and of course we'll be posting daily for our 30 days of creativity. So that should keep you going until everything's back to normal, and you can go back to the Apple Store for some of their fantastic training. You can also contact the Apple Store for sessions for children. So I took my little mini digital leaders of learning last year to the Buchanan Street Apple Store, and we did a session on Spheros. That was fantastic. The staff are great, really knowledgeable, really patient with the children. So I'd really recommend that once it is back up and running. So that brings me to the end of the overview of the Getting Started with Apple Teacher. So I hope that despite the technical hitches, you were able to keep up. As I say, a bit of a whistle-stop tour, but too much in detail, I think, to go into to each of the different apps, you'd be here for a month. And it's really, I think people, I know that some people were asking, do you need your iPad for this? So I think that we have to be mindful that people are using their iPads to access the webinar. So it wouldn't have been fair to make it practical as well, because not everyone's got two devices. So I'll leave that there. This is my email address and the Twitter handles if anyone has any questions that haven't been able to be answered there at the site. Please, if you're taking part in the Apple Teacher Mondays, please tweet us, include us in your tweets. We love to tweet and retweet. Make sure you use the hashtag GCC, keep safe, keep learning. And thank you. I don't know if Laura or Andrew want to say goodbye or anything.
Yeah, just massive. First of all, massive thank you to you, Michelle. Honestly, it's
sorry for the technical hitches.
Listen, there's literally nothing you could do about that. Sometimes it's just one of these things. We've had quite a lot of excitement in some of the things that we've done last week as we've been getting these off the ground, and just kind of like we'll work our way through all of that. Just a couple of things from me, and then I'll see if Laura wants to say anything before we just say cheerio. So just picking up on a couple of things, actually, points that Michelle made and folks were asking questions about in the chat. First of all, Apple Teacher, it's not limited to teachers in any shape or form. So although you guys are obviously teachers and you will be receiving the badge of an Apple Teacher, Apple don't check that you are a teacher in order to kind of like let you start the program. And I've worked with lots of schools where they've used it with, digital leader groups amongst the students, particularly in secondaries, and they've got them to work their way through the 6 badges that Michelle was talking about today. So it's a really nice program that you can offer students if it's appropriate for them. Secondly, again, Michelle said this, I think, made this point. When you sign up to Apple Teacher, you sign up with your own personal Apple ID and not with the Glasgow City Council one, and that's because essentially when you receive the accreditation at the end, that belongs to you as an individual. It doesn't belong to the city or the Connected Learning Programme or your school. So if you decided to get a job somewhere else, you still would take that accreditation with you. So that's going to go with a personal Apple ID. Now, if you don't have an Apple device at home, you don't already have a personal Apple ID, you can create one, and there's a link on the Apple Teacher Learning Centre sort of main page, which I've put in the chat, that sort of takes you to how to do that. It's completely free, doesn't require any credit card information or anything like that. So that's probably something that's worth doing. And lastly, and again, just really doubling down on one of Michelle's points at the end there, the badges are really only the tip of the iceberg, and these things are supported with a whole realm of kind of support materials in the Apple Teacher Learning Centre that gives you classroom application and a real kind of in-depth, kind of deep dive, if you like, into the resources. Now, if you haven't got your Apple your iPads yet in your school, it's a really nice way of getting into it or starting it if you have a personal device of your own at home, and certainly something that you'll get a whole lot of value out of, I think. So today was really the introduction. If you're planning on coming back next Monday to look at the first badge, which is the Pages badge, it might be worth making sure before you do that you've kind of tried to work through signing into the Apple Teacher Learning Centre, if you need to create an Apple ID, and just kind of finding your way around that little that kind of interface a little bit before we do next Monday's session. But I think for me, thank you to Michelle, thank you to all of you guys, and yeah, looking forward to the next few weeks. So over to you, Laura.
Yeah, just kind of resonating everything that Andrew was just saying there. Thanks so much, Michelle. I think we can all appreciate how challenging it is sometimes with the technical difficulties, but we got there in the end. So thank you everyone for all your patience, especially Michelle as well, because it's quite a nervous and daunting thing coming on this in any situation, let alone presenting to 250 odd people. So thank you very much. As Andrew said, we'll be around to support in any way we can. It's also kind of worthwhile thinking about the connected learning teachable resources that are available, because there is a course on getting started with Apple Teacher as well, so that might be something that you want to have a look at, and that's through the teachable tile. Just a kind of shameless plug for this week's coffee break learning webinars. So this week is all about the consistent approach for engaging with children and young people. So tomorrow at 10:30 we have Castlemilk High teachers coming on to speak about how they've used Shobi as well to increase consistency amongst the young people that they work with. On Wednesday we have teachers from Castleton Primary, Miller Primary and Kermunnock Primary who are going to be talking about how they have used Seesaw and Shobi as well. And on Thursday we have Richie McComb from Notre Dame High who's coming on to speak about how he has used Teams in his school as well. So they'll all start at 10:30, but the video will go live from 10, so you can join from 10 o'clock. But that's really everything. Remember to register with the Glow form, and when you add a record in CPD Manager, getting started with Apple Teacher should appear as well. So thank you very much to Michelle, and thank you so much for joining in. We hope you have a lovely week, and if you're joining us with the Coffee Break webinars, we'll see you tomorrow at 10:30. Okay, thank you very much. Thanks, Michelle.
Bye.
Everybody, bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks, Michelle. That was
Goodbye.
great.